Welcome, survivors, burnout community, and those just interested. It's Kelly Bupoltz, trainer, author, speaker, and your burnout prevention mentor. Burnout is not taboo. It's our reality in this chaotic, fast-paced world. But we're not going to let it drive the narrative to our stories. We're going to do something about it, so let's dig in. People like to push change. People like to push against new ways of working against traditional methods. But sometimes you have to step into it and embrace it, especially when the workforce is demanding it, in order for your business to thrive, in order for your operations to sustain great talent. And so we're going to talk about a few of the pitfalls that employers are running into or hurdles on why they can't offer unlimited PTO, and a few factors and things you can do within your organization to start moving towards that or a version of that. And less than 10% of the employers offer unlimited PTO. So in the US workforce, less than 10% offer unlimited PTO. And on average, the research is coming out where benefits are coming out that they've been searching for. Benefits are coming out where the workforce is engaged. They're managing their time. They're having productivity optimization, because in order for people to be off, they have to get their work done. In order for people to be off, they have to have an operation flow within their team. So they're actually getting high trust on their teams. They're getting cross-team collaboration and really good backups, which is going to save you when someone quits or you have high turnover seasons. They're having high accountability, because in order for you to be off on PTO, again, you had to have good performance to get your things done. So this flexibility and autonomy of work has actually shifted for better performing workforce, optimizing productivity, which means you're getting more output. And some of that dysfunction in teams is going away, which again is a time waste. So unlimited PTO actually brings a lot of things and engagement that employers are already searching for. It's just they've decided against unlimited PTO because of the cost of the company. Now, as you've seen on other videos, the cost of the companies is much larger in turnover. The cost of the company is actually much larger in disengagement. Turnover costs 30% of an employee's salary. Disengaged employees cost 34% of their salary. So when you talk about cost, it's actually costing you more for fighting the workforce versus embracing it. So let's talk about some of the pitfalls that employers are running into, and then some action plans you can do to start moving towards unlimited PTO. It doesn't necessarily mean that you have to elect unlimited PTO, but there's certain versions of this that you can establish today to start to work and play with it and get the same benefits as these other employers that have already rolled out unlimited PTO policies. So some pitfalls or hurdles that employers are running into is low trust, low communication, low backups in their organization. So when you say unlimited PTO, they're like, well, who's going to do the work? That shows low trust, low communication, low backups on your team. You're going to run into operational problems regardless. If it's unlimited, if one person goes on PTO, if there's low trust and low communication and low backups, you're already running into issues. So when you look at productivity optimization, you're addressing these things regardless. The definitions between sick leave and PTO have always been kind of muddy. 2-decade HR professional here, and depending on who is reading the language, it's up to interpretation. So the definitions around sick leave and PTO need to be really defined. That's another hurdle that's coming up is, if it's unlimited PTO, do you still have sick leave? If it's unlimited PTO and you have all this flexibility within your workforce, do you even need sick leave anymore? Compensation classifications, what I'm going to get to at the end here, different ways that you can classify employees to make this work. Because again, say you have a $60,000 salary employee and they have unlimited PTO and they're taking excessive amounts of PTO, you're really not getting $60,000 worth out of them. Now, when you reclassify them, you get your money for the asset that you paid for, the manning asset. The transition period, which when I work with clients on trying to work our way towards unlimited PTO, or at least a work style similar to that, The transition period of PTO abusers is rough. And I think that it should be seen as a weight lifted, because these are your poor performers. These are the people working the system. These are the people working harder on working the system than actual work. So it will actually, in the end, make your company more operationally productive. It will make the good performers that are cleaning up their mess happy and stick around, so retention. And it will attract top talent because they're not working with people that they have to kind of drag along. So even though there's a transition period where PTO abusers are going to abuse that and you have to exit them, in the end, you're going to end up with a top performing team. Another pitfall or hurdle that employers are running into why they're not electing unlimited PTO is unclear expectations, unclear deadlines, unclear what we're supposed to be working on and priorities. So in my mind, I know I have to do A, B, C, 1, 2, 3, and then I can go on PTO. In my boss's mind or someone outside of my department, they might say, I need X, Y, Z, 4, 5, 6. So you have to get really focused and aligned as a team first before someone can exit for PTO, because expectations and what people think you should be working on is going to be very different from person to person, from department to department. So we want to get really clear and aligned so that if Kelly takes PTO for 2 weeks to go wherever, that everyone knows what she should have been doing, that it is complete, who her backups are, and she can go. The company culture should be very supportive of employees. We all know when you take a really good vacation, when you come back, you're on it. When you come back, you are creative, you're collaborative, you are moving forward at a very fast pace. Productivity optimization. But we don't get a lot of PTO. And as a working parent with 3 kids, most of my PTO goes to sick kids, even with remote work and flexibility. Majority of my PTO goes to sick kids. So I actually haven't been on vacation for a couple years. And so that like huge energy thrive that comes up, that surge of creativity and collaboration, it's not going to happen because I never really got to check out. So the company culture that supports actual employee health, the company culture that wants people to really reset and energize and come in, that's the ones that are more likely to elect unlimited PTO type of situations. And then the last pitfall and hurdle that I've heard within clients is from leaders. They don't take their PTO. Actually, most leaders are common offenders to have the most PTO left over at the end of the year. So you're not leading by example. You're telling your team to reset. You're telling your team to rest. You're telling your team to take PTO before you, which is admirable, but also you're going to burn yourself out. This is why we get leader low. There are people within your team that are feeling guilty for taking PTO because you don't take your PTO, or you answer emails the whole time when you're on PTO. So then when they go out of office, they answer emails when they're out. So monkey see, monkey do. So be careful, leaders, of your actions because your team is following them. Now, what I'm going to shine light on is a few actions we can do today to start to move towards a culture in which someday maybe you can have unlimited PTO and all the benefits of high trust and communication and productivity optimization. And that's the workforce energy model. So why I'm even talking about unlimited PTO is not because I want unlimited PTO. It's because it's giving off the same factors of workforce energy management. The workforce energy management is really 4 factors that I saw over the last couple years. It's employee engagement. It is productivity optimization in an ever-changing world. It is burnout prevention. So the 3 things that I have been working with clients on came aligned and had these 4-factor trends in which we can get there. All we have to do is workforce energy management. So the 4 factors is navigate. So what is the direction of the team across departments? Are we all in line with that across departments? Do we know what everyone should be working on? Regardless of personal preferences, is the team all moving through this journey together? And so getting really aligned and focused on that. Expedition. Expedition is how we're going to strengthen communication, cross-department collaboration. These are the backups. These are the avenues in which we're going to communicate with each other. And again, creating efficiencies within that, because there's a lot of waste within that. Synergy is building team energy, building team trust. So why people can't take PTO is because there's distrust there that, did they even finish that one project? Did they get me that report on time? Who's going to do what? Oh, she's not going to do it on time. So it's building up this team energy, this team trust, so that people can pop out when they need to and come back when they're ready. And then workflow productivity optimization. Again, we're losing more than we're gaining because we're spending too much time battling the workforce than embracing it. So we're going to be working on system integrations and automation. And when you go through the workflow between departments, what's the pass-off look like? And when you really optimize these things, when you focus and navigate, when you create a cross-department collaboration, when you create good communication, when you build trust, then yes, unlimited PTO doesn't seem that far-fetched, does it? It's because it's a well-oiled team. You've just created an agile work environment in which when change comes up, people know how to respond. Kelly can be on PTO and the team still knows how to respond. So unlimited PTO doesn't seem that far-fetched now. Now, there are alternatives to unlimited PTO that I want to talk about, and the kinds that we've kind of test trialed as we work through that workforce energy management model. We start test trying a few of these things to, again, meet the modern day workforce where they're at, but maybe you can offer unlimited PTO. And some alternatives and small steps you can take is try out some floating holidays. So if you haven't noticed, the holidays are not very diversified. They're not inclusive whatsoever. So there's some people that don't celebrate Christmas, and yet we spend 2 days, maybe even over New Year's. Let's combine all that. New Year's and New Year's Eve are very common too. So we have 4 days within a week and a half that people get off. For some of them, don't celebrate those holidays. Some of them, it's a very depressing holiday. They'd rather just be at work and take off during summer when they can be with people. So offering alternatives with floating holidays is a great start. But again, you need high trust, high communication, you need workflow, and you need a guiding direction so that people can work when the rest of the office is closed. And there's that trust and sense of value that's being provided that day versus, Kelly, you worked yesterday, but the office was closed. What did she do? So you want to get rid of any of those notions through the workforce energy management model. Other options is to move some of your workforce to non-exempt. So exempt is salary. That means regardless of how many hours you work, you get paid this much. Non-exempt is you get paid hourly, which means you work, you get paid, you work, you get paid, you work, you get paid. So this isn't unlimited PTO, but it does get the workforce to start managing their hours correctly. It starts to get them to focus around, if I don't work, I don't get paid. If I want to take off, I need to get all these things figured out. And then, yes, I don't get paid, but also I don't have to work right now. So it's not any more cost to the business, and it gets employees shifting their mindset of what value they bring, what they should be working on, and managing their schedules. It also naturally gets them to start thinking about backups while they're out, because if I just want to work 30 hours this week, I want to make sure that my backups are all in place so I can be off on Friday. And so it's creating that natural team collaboration that's happening. So non-exempt is an option, and it allows a little bit more flexible schedule. But again, it's not paid time off. But I'll tell you, this workforce is stressed out that they might go for that. The other thing that you can do is go check out the flexible work arrangement video on Think Different. And that talks about over 7 days, how you can start spreading your work schedule out. Or you can go into fractional work, which is, project-based work. And over a month period, you're getting certain hours in versus like weekly. And again, this is very focused skill set type of work. But go check out flexible work arrangement. And then the other video is called the gig workforce. And there's going to be little nuggets within that, bite-sized pizzas that you can start taking action towards to move towards unlimited PTO. as a working parent in this type of economy, as a working parent trying to juggle work life, home life at any point in time, there's not enough PTO for me to ever take vacation. But when I think about the factors that went into that workforce energy management, the guiding direction of my team, great communication and collaboration, building trusts and team energy, and then that workflow optimization, it feels obtainable. It feels like when everyone is healthy and well, that I could take a couple days off and everything would be okay. That the business and the operation wouldn't crash and burn while I'm out of the office. And as a leader in my organizations, that's how I crashed and burned, is I could never take a day off because there was so much dysfunction in our operation that if I took a day off, I was answering emails all day anyways. So what's the point? So if you want to sustain top performers, if you want to sustain top skill sets, you got to start meeting them where they're at. And they're not just demanding unlimited PTO. They're not demanding free time off. They're demanding operational and effective teams. They're demanding an energy flow in which they get energized instead of energy drained. If you really look at what the workforce is demanding with unlimited PTO, is they're looking for a balance that says, yeah, I want to work, but also I want to have a life. So let me provide you value and then give me time off. And knowing that disengagement is costing 34% of the employee's salary, knowing that turnover is costing 30% of an employee's salary, I don't know what businesses have to lose by just stepping into building trust in their teams, building communication and collaboration, working on workflow and productivity optimization, and getting everyone aligned. Operationally, you're going to gain so much out of that unlimited PTO is just a symptom. When you address the root causes, it can work.
I know you're not lazy. Most people in burnout are high performers, those serving others before themselves. Don't discount this step today, the action in which you focus on your self-growth. Piecing together the puzzle is half the journey. Rediscovering yourself, energy, and establishing new habits is the other. Do not underestimate the untapped inner strength inside you. Explore more resources on my website to move from zombie mode back to liveliness. See you soon.